Hello, and you're watching News 9's Facebook and YouTube Live. I am Prajwal D'Souza. The central government has released the guidelines for Unlock 5.0. Now, in this interaction, I will tell you about the guidelines, but with a specific focus on guidelines issued for the reopening of schools and colleges. The question of reopening the schools amid the pandemic is on everyone's mind. Now, in the month of September, the centre had allowed the states to reopen schools, the 9th to 12th standard, starting from September 21. However, the dates were later postponed due to increased number of COVID-19 cases in the country. Now, with the Unlock 5.0, the central government has allowed the states and union territories the flexibility to reopen schools and colleges from 15th October in a graded manner on a case-to-case basis and only after consulting and deliberating with the institute's management. The guidelines also stated that online and distance learning should remain the preferred mode of teaching, and this will of course be encouraged. Now, the centre further said that the decision will depend on the states and schools can reopen only after due consideration with the parents. Now, earlier I spoke to the Minister for Primary and Secondary Education, Suresh Kumar, regarding Karnataka's decision to reopen schools, and this is what he had to say.
ಸೊ ಇವತ್ತು ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಅಕ್ಟೋಬರ್ 15ನೇ ತಾರೀಕಿಂದ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅದು ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳ ವಿವೇಚನೆಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಅವಸರನ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ತೋರಿಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಶ್ರೇಣಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ವರ್ಗದವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ನಾನು ಸಂವಾದವನ್ನು ಮುಂದುವರಿಸಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಇವತ್ತು ಸಂಜೆ ಒಂದು ತಂಡ ಇದೆ, ಸೋಮವಾರ ಒಂದು ತಂಡ ಇದೆ. ನಾನು ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪೋಷಕರ ಜೊತೆನೂ ಕೂಡ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಯಾರ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಪೋಷಕರ ಜೊತೆ ನಾನು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಸಂಗ್ರಹ ಮಾಡಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಹಿತವನ್ನ ನೆನಪಲ್ಲಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಸುರಕ್ಷತೆಗೆ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಆದ್ಯತೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಮುಂದಿನ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ ಇಡುವ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯ ನಮ್ಮಿಂದ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಕೂಡ ಕಾಲ ಕೂಡಿ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ.
The minister has clearly said that only after deliberating with the parents, they will make a decision on whether or not to reopen schools. Now, even if the government plans to reopen schools, will the parents be ready? Now, a survey conducted by local circles claimed that 71% of parents who participated in the survey were unwilling to send their children to schools. But do you know the number of school days lost due to the pandemic? It amounts to a whopping 300 billion days across the world. Now, the data was released by Insights for Education. Now, to discuss the issue further, I am joined by Shashi Kumar, who is the General Secretary of Associated Management of Primary and Secondary Schools in Karnataka. Mr. Shashi Kumar, thank you for joining me. Now, do you think it is feasible to reopen schools as the pandemic is still raging?
As per the central government's acceptance and observation, it has been well clear that it will be opening for only for 9th to 12th, and it was supposed to be on 21st of September, but it has been left to the state respectively to decide on their situation based. But now again, even yesterday in 5.0, it is nothing new. It is the same old thing. Again, they have reflected. Our concern is not this in Karnataka. We are very much happy with the minister, what he has said about this, consulting others and parents and all sectors and arrive whether to open or not. But my direct question to the minister is he not seeing that most of the schools across Karnataka who are public schools, and that is government schools, are running in the name of Vidyagama, even for the children, even 10 years, 11 years, 12 years, children are in the school already. What do you mean by we will decide? Is it fair enough? It is a naked lie that government is submitting in front of the media. Entire state, most of the schools, especially government schools, are functioning within its premises. We are being discriminated. So we request, Honorable Minister, please see that don't discriminate. Come with some solution, some standard SOP, so that every school fits within this. They should see that the SOP is maintained well. They should see that it is implemented in both the private and public schools. Take the concerns of the parents. See, we are talking to the whatever you said about 70+%. It is a cosmetic level of parents who are in hi-fi schools, not the low segment schools, that is budget schools. Most of the parents, even ministry claiming that there is 1 lakh plus students have shifted from government private school to government school. Why? They are running the classes. Are they not vulnerable? Are they not getting COVID? The teachers have lost their life because of COVID positive. Children are being detected positive. Why the media is blind? We want to know this answer. Even we are not ready, that we are not running away or doing any lobby to open the schools. We are also having the same social responsibility. But our concern is, why do you discriminate between private and aided school and public school children?
Okay, Mr. Kumar, now in case a kid tests positive, how will the schools manage the situation? Will all the kids be tested? What will happen?
That is what my main regret is. We have never prepared SOP once the school opens, what is what, who is to be held responsible. Because I demand the government, parents are all equally responsible, because pandemic, it is not like just in the school it happens. It should come either from the teacher or the pupil.
Yes.
But where these are at their home. Their parents are out to work. They may get contaminated and they may transfer those things to the other children. So opening a school is not the primary thing. We have to make a ready of SOP, standard operating procedure, keeping all this in mind, and also put a regulation to the parents community. We have seen in SSLC examination too. There were many parents who have sent their children by administering paracetamol to the exam. It was a matter of 8 lakh plus. But here we are talking about 30 lakh students if it is from 9th to 12th. And how to run the session, whether it is a regular school or it should be alternative days or it should be 50-50. There are many difficulties, practical difficulties, because private unaided schools, most of the children negotiate to the school by transportation, and school transportation, public transportation dependency is there.
Yeah.
There are more than 20,000 plus private operators who operate in urban for negotiating school to home for the private unaided school children. We are supposed to talk to them also. Are they prepared? Am I right or wrong?
Yes, Mr. Kumar. Now again, if you remember previously, the center had issued some guidelines. Now, even if we take these guidelines into consideration, how are schools planning to, let's say, successfully enforce social distancing? Is it possible? Are there any plans?
It is very difficult. I do understand practical difficulty, but even though private unaided schools, most they are prepared. They are prepared with having their thermometers, oximeters, sanitization tunnels, sanitization liquids needed. They have done when 21st we were supposed to reopen. The minister said previous day that we are ready and we are ready to open. And the last hour there is an order saying that we are not opening. Such things should not happen. We will be financially burdened. So we request, we demand the government, please take our concerns, talk to the stakeholders of larger interest and come out with some planning. It should be a micro plan here also, not only with the SSLC examination. Because how, what, when, what is the curriculum, what is the syllabus, how much you are supposed to reduce. You are talking about the loss of the academic calendar days. That is also to be addressed before opening.
Mr. Kumar, again, now even if we say that social distancing can be enforced, now how will you make the children practice it? Is it possible? Because a lot of these kids are small. How can one convince the kids?
I am saying, please understand, we are not talking about small kids. It is ruled out. Media is not understanding this. We are not talking about small kids. We are talking about 9th to 12th. That is what the central stance is. Then later on, first we have to trial with 9th to 12th. They are adults, they are understanding, but it is difficult for them to keep in the system for more than 4-5 hours and make them to follow the rules. I do accept that it is difficult. Just like a parent, even we are worried. But the responsibility is among
You said
us
trial.
all.
You said trial. Does that mean these 9th and 10th kids are now guinea pigs? You're trialing on them first. Is it what you're
Yeah,
trying
that
to
is what the government, so central government has to think before they send the SOP. It is not the responsibility of the honorable government of this country. See, they have already decided. There are many states already functioning with the school. Then it is nothing but guinea pigs. They are trialing on this. But in the other way, there are many recommendations that yes, you have to run the thing. You can't keep them because the learning is a continued process. If it is left for a few months, definitely there will be pruning. The brain neurons will get, there is a lossage for learning outcome. Even this has to be addressed. Only online, we are talking about to what percentage. There are without online, there are children who are unreachable, they are out of communication network. So
Yes,
we have to
yes.
address this issue in a larger perspective.
Yes. Now, Mr. Kumar, several studies have stated that, kids might be the silent carriers of COVID-19. So how will this
Absolutely right.
interaction with the students and faculties be possible? What will be the situation like?
Absolutely right, sir. That is what I am conveying my fraternity.
Yes.
There are my fraternity people who are ready. We
Yes.
will open. Government is violating the norms. Why not we run the thing? Because parents are demanding us. Even the parents community of certain section, they are running behind the schools. Please, we are unable to keep our children home. Please open the school. Instead of, they are not at home. They are already on the roads. They are already on the playgrounds. They are already roaming in and around. Let them be in the school. There is a certain section putting their opinion. But as you said, yes, it will be very difficult because they are the soft carriers. They will carry the virus very, very fast than others because they are vulnerable. And apart from that, they are impulsive. Their mindset is different. They are not controllable because parents are not controlling the students. Even the system is unable to control the students because
Yes.
we have certain constraints. There is no minimum reinforcement in situation. So naturally, students they have their own liberty of expression. We are unable to control. We have these all difficulties, but still, government has to take a decision. Government has to provide SOP. Government
Yes.
has to say what is what and who is responsible for whatever they think. If government takes up responsibility that any child gets contaminated, then we will take the measures of all health aspects, that is testing everybody. All those responsibilities government takes, we are ready to open. We are ready to join our hands with the government.
Well, thank you, Mr. Kumar, for joining me. Now, although the guidelines have been released, it is up to the state governments to reopen the schools. As of now, it looks like only after proper deliberation and a consideration with the parents, the states will decide whether or not to reopen schools. If you like this video, click on the like button and don't forget to subscribe to News 9 on all the social media platforms. Thank you for watching and have a great day.